Hello. Oh, I forgot to get my computer up. Sorry. Let me share this really quick. Oh my God, greatest day ever. Okay, let me come find you. Ooh, hi, Vicky. I am coming to find you really quick. We just got done celebrating. Hi, Kara. Hi, Lynn. We just got done celebrating in the Happy and Wealthy group. The first official 30-day Happy and Wealthy group was absolutely mind-blowingly epic. Such incredible people, such incredible women. We just finished our big old celebration. We picked some winners for an hour-long session with me and some gifts in the mail. It was absolutely so much fun. I loved it. Oh my God. How great was that? I see my Happy and Wealthy people on here. How great was it? It was so great. It was the greatest 30 days ever. 40 days, something like that. Okay, so I am popping on. I'm basically having the greatest day of my entire life, and I'm going out to celebrate in a minute. However, I wanted to pop on to let you guys know for real, because I changed it because I made a mistake. The Happy and Wealthy experience. Basically, this is what happened. We did the Happy and Wealthy group. It was unbelievable. The amount of transformation that these people showed up for and were intentional about and created in their life was absolutely incredible. And a big part of that was because we had each other and we were doing life together. And so like, you know, of course I take these powerful concepts and the stuff that I've learned, right? Like from all these incredible mentors and people I've studied under and the life experiences that I've had going from, I mean, the growth is mind blowing, going from, you know, a woman who was making $400 a week to a woman who's running a global on track for 7-figure business. That is substantial growth. In 3 years, that's crazy. So there's been massive amounts of, obviously the way that I think has changed tremendously. It has had to change. I had to become the woman it took to create this life. And so what I did was I sat down and I really took hours and I really pinpointed what were the big breakthrough concepts that I started to understand that gave me the freedom and that gave me the ability to think in a way like the successful people around me. And I learned that the way I thought when I was, you know, making $400 a week and I was nannying and I was a mom and I was going to school, and the way that I thought when I started making a lot of money and my business started being successful and my clients started having massive breakthroughs was a big friggin' difference, right? Like obviously that's a massive difference in the way that we think. So I sat down and I started listing them. And I even like checked in with friends. I checked in with my ex and I was like, you know, like what were big things you remember me like realizing or implementing or breaking through? And I really captured them. So in this 30-day group, what we did was we went for every single day. We were like just power shifting. So now we have all the trainings and the recordings and, you know, the feedback and the breakthroughs and all the stuff that came up with them and the Q&As, and it's all compiled. And we will be running another 30-day group because that, I mean, it's going to be a staple in my business. Just the massive amounts of transformation was unbelievable. But what we realized was, you know, these are topics that can go very deep and can continue to transform your life and can continue at every single level that you rise to transform your life. It's like the same principles applied at every new level in a different way. But they're the fundamentals. They're the fundamentals of massive success, right? So like literally even going on track for 7 figures, the same exact fundamental that I used when I hit my first 6 figures is the exact same fundamental that I'm using and calling on and being firm on track for 7 figures. The exact same work. It's just applied a little bit differently. The numbers are a little bit differently, but it's literally the same exact work. So what I did was I took all those concepts plus sat down and wrote out 60 more and designed an entire year-long experience where we're just simply together doing life together. So every week I'm in there. Some of them are going to be dropped, dropped videos and dropped content that way, and worksheets, workbooks, audios, because we have all different styles of learning and ways that things resonate with us. And then accessibility, right? Like sometimes they'll be in the membership area, and then sometimes you'll be able to pull them up like the audios I do oftentimes. If it's something I know you need to hear and repeat, I'll record it as an audio so that you can pull it up really easy on your phone. And I'm going to teach you guys how to actually like just have it accessible right there on your phone. It's like little tricks like that can really make life a lot better. So yes, going deep. That's right, girl. So we're going to do a year-long experience of that. And the idea is that every single week we're remembering and building that foundation for whatever level that we're at. And then we're implementing it so that we have time to implement and time to implement and time to implement. And that we're actually reviewing these things that are wealth concepts. It's the way to believe, to be like, I think most people that are in my tribe know this. It's simply a way of thinking that creates a life where you're wealthy and happy. It is just that simple, right? And so oftentimes it's like one of two things happen. Either you didn't know the concept, we hadn't been exposed to the concept yet, or we have been exposed to the concept, but you haven't heard it in a way that resonates. My expertise, my gift is to say it in a way that I will hit you from every single angle so that you will hear it. You won't not hear it. You will hear it. That is my gift. I will say it to you in a way where your eyes wide open, the fog is cleared, and you will actually hear it. It's your work to go and then implement it. I'm not going to come to your house and do your work for you, but I am going to create a container where you will hear it and you will feel safe and you will feel free to be who you truly are, to talk about whatever the hell is actually coming up for you. I'm always saying in my groups, like, let your shit be seen. I don't care how crazy it is. We talk about things from, abuses and traumas to, racist things that happen in our life or confusing things that we believe, religious things. It doesn't matter. It's like whatever's actually there is what we talk about and what we are with each other and present with each other for. And I create an incredibly safe, powerful container for you to be able to do that and get direct feedback like an actual coach, like a soccer coach. I kicked the ball, I kicked it wrong. The coach comes, adjusts my foot, I learn to kick it right, I get way more goals. That's just how it is. It's direct, automatic feedback in the moment. Something's going on. You're shifting off of a concept that actually brings you happiness and wealth, and you're going into a lower vibration, and I help bring you back. And it's like just instantly, gently going back, and we're actually talking about all the things, whatever it is, anything that actually, so my part of my work is to stir some stuff up for you. It's simply just making a commitment and backing yourself is going to stir stuff up. That's a massive breakthrough right there. To commit to something like this, which is a year, even though it's crazy low pricing, it's $555 a month, guys, for full, like, my energy, my container, my wisdom dumped on you guys for an entire year for $555 a month. Like, nobody does that. Nobody, you're not going to find that anywhere else. There's no way you're going to find that anywhere else. I know there's no way, but it's such a passion of mine, and it's been such a joy, and it's given me so much life to do life with people this way that's what I just decided to do. But the price goes up to $777 tomorrow. And then after that, it's going to go up to $1,000 a month, and it'll stay at $1,000 a month. So if this is resonating with you, you want to get in tonight before midnight. Oh, you sir, right. Permission to think and believe. Hell yes. I felt that you have given me permission to do it. That is right, girl. You do have permission to do it. So this is the concept and the backing behind this program. I'm in there every day. I'm giving constant feedback so you can get the maximum amount of results. And it's a safe space where you can bring all your stuff to the table, and I'll teach you how to do it in a powerful way. I'll teach you how to do it so that you're friends with other people and you're not feeling obligated to help or support other people. It's not like that. We're equals. We're all equals in this group, doing life together, arms locked. Like, that's the way that we do life together. It's a bunch of incredible, powerful people who don't need someone above them lording over, or like nobody's the leader and stuff like that. Really, we're just doing life together. And I'm just in there, maybe I have a couple steps further on the path, and I'm just sharing my wisdom with you guys in there. And I'm there to bounce stuff off and to reflect back to you when you get off track a little bit, so that you can see clearly and continue to keep seeing clearly. And before you know it, it's just the new way of being. And then we look back, like we celebrated tonight in the 30-day group. And it was like, if we look back at like, holy crap, that was only 30 days. We have a whole lifetime to be able to do that. Like, that level of intentionality, that level of focus, that level of support, that level of paying attention, that level of community and doing life together and feeling like my soul is filling. And we don't have soul anorexia where we're like starving. So then we have this yucky behavior that we don't understand why, because your soul is starving and you're trying to feed it with some crap. It's like being thirsty and drinking sand. Like, that shit doesn't work. We need each other. We need to do life together. We need to be present in this energy and doing life that way, where who we are is fully accepted, where our biggest dreams is fully reflected. I didn't mean to rhyme, but that was pretty awesome. I know you guys must appreciate this. I have no idea why that just amused me so much, but it did. I think because for a second before I said it, I knew it was going to rhyme and sound cheesy, and I just decided to do it anyways. Oh my God. I thought of signing up. I've read the sales page multiple times. My only concern is if it's wealth focused. Is this something that helps me increase their income? It helps people increase it 100%. Look, the fastest way to increase your income is to think like a wealthy person, right? So as long as you're on your way to 7 figures or below, I can support you. And even if you're right next to me, of course I could still support you, right? Even if you're like, you're right here at my numbers, I can support you because I'm gonna be able to see your shit because it's your shit, not my shit, right? So anybody who has a level of success and gives you access to the way they're thinking. I was talking to this with my friend the other day. Actually, it was my trainer, and he's really starting to go more online, and he didn't really understand that all it is just giving people access to the way you think. I don't think like an incredibly fit, athletic, not athletic, like an Olympian type fitness person, right? Like a person who's incredibly fit and buff and jacked. Like, I don't think like that. I think like how I look. That's how I think, clearly, right? Like you can see in the room how people think with their workouts and with their fitness and with their body. You can see it, it's evident, right? And so someone who already thinks incredibly healthy with their working out and their eating, if I get access to the way they think consistently and I'm telling them, well, this is what I'm telling myself, and they're like, well, this is what I tell myself in that moment, and they explain to me why, and they help me shift to think like they do, I'm going to have massive success over and over and over. Like, that's just how it is. The most valuable thing is to have, that's why masterminds and groups like this are usually quite expensive, because I'm literally giving you access to the way that I think. That is the most powerful thing that you could get from a human being, right? You're getting direct feedback consistently so that you can shift the way that you think in the moment as we go through week to week to week, right? It's great when we get access to the way someone thinks, once every couple months, but to be able to do it week to week like this, that is epic. That is the massive amounts of transformation that you could ever have. So 100%, if you're able to, in your work, right? Your work in a group like this, or in any group where you're doing this kind of work, or in any mentorship that you have, your work is for you to be tuned in enough to be able to ask your questions. You need to be able to express the way that you think so that I can reflect back to you the way that I think, and I can help show you why that has given me massive amounts of wealth. Does this make sense? Like, because the way I think, it gives like, I have less blocks. With the way that I think, I don't have blocks like people who are maybe a couple years behind where I was. I had those blocks, but I worked through them. And now the way I think creates this kind of path for me where I don't have blocks stopping me from it, right? Now at another level, like I can't even comprehend billion, right? Like I would love to get access to a billionaire's brain where they're reflecting back to me how they think so I can remove the blocks that I have between me and billion, because I can't picture that. My brain doesn't go there. You know what I'm saying? So your work is for you to start flushing this stuff up. Put yourself in a position where stuff gets flushed up. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable, because that's where all the gold comes up, right? Like, this is the valuable, good stuff that gets flushed up. And then we get to start asking questions, and we get to start reflecting on things and feeling and releasing the emotions, like letting the wave come of the emotion, letting it pass. You learn to get stronger and hold tension more, right? Like I was saying, like, I remember when I was bawling and crying about $2,000, like that was completely shutting me down. And now it's like 40 grand. I'm like, like it's the 40 grand doesn't shut me down. That's massive amounts of growth right there. That is my nervous system completely retraining and my brain rewiring. And I'm able to now hold a completely different capacity. But I would have never been able to get there if I didn't put myself in a position where I was required to like start dealing with some of the stuff coming up. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not like this linear, like, it's not like this magical pill. Sorry, my hair is in my eye. It's not like this magical pill where I teach you this one thing. Oh, sorry. Oh, did I get it? Got it. It's not like this magical thing where, you'll learn one concept or like a how, like this is what you go do. It is a constant shifting and a growing and expanding. It's why I always say the work is the work. Like it looks like whatever it actually looks like. The only thing is, are you going to stay in it long enough to break through all the way there, right? Because it was a mother-loving journey for me. Like it was a journey. Like a journey. And I always felt like I wasn't far enough along. I always felt like, oh my God, I'm way fucked up. I always felt like, I was never going to get there. And that was just a bad habit of me not being, we actually have to be willing to do whatever the steps are today so that whatever the steps are tomorrow can be illuminated. If I'm not willing to step in and do whatever my actual work is today without judging it, without thinking it should be different and I should be further along and it was supposed to look like this and it was supposed to be easier by now and whatever entitlement slips in, because we're humans and that's what happens, I have to be willing to just be like, okay, this is what the work looked like today. That's what it was for today. That's my work for today. And now that I've done my work for today, now tomorrow's work will actually be clear. Instead of avoiding and being frustrated and judging what my work is today, and now tomorrow my work, I don't even know. I still have to do whatever today's work is tomorrow because I didn't do it today because I was too busy judging it and getting pissed off and cranky and scared and whatever other bad habits that we have as human beings. And so that's what this container is meant to do. It's meant to provide you reflections and support so that you can be clear what your work is today and to remind you to accept what the work is. Like, just surrender. When you surrender and you're like, oh, this is the lesson, we start to see so much more clearly what the lesson is. And then we like stop having basically we're fighting ourselves. It's like we're duking it out with our dreams. Oprah Winfrey, no bigger battle, no greater battle than the part of you that wants to stay the same and the part of you that wants to change. There is no greater battle. It is a battle, right? And so the more that we can surrender to what it is and let whatever the growth is happen, then that's your 1% shift today, but that's going to be 2% tomorrow because it's going to be the 1% tomorrow plus the 1% today. And then that next day, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 times whatever. I need to figure out how to explain this. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys know what I'm saying, right? So true. Be willing. Love it. Yes, Nicole. Hi, Tim. That's what I'm after. That's why I enrolled. Yes, Sylvia. I cannot wait. This is going to be the greatest year. I know it in my soul and in my bones. It's going to be the greatest year ever. The amount of transformation that's going to happen is going to be like unlike anything I've ever done. I know it in my soul. I saw it in the 30-day group. I know what this is. I know that this was a huge act of love for my tribe and my audience and for the people who are ready to actually do this. And your work is for you to show up and let your shit be seen and be vulnerable and let yourself get a taste of what it feels like to actually get loved on and actually get support. Release the story of when it all has to happen and why and how it all has to happen, and just stay focused on your goal. Don't look at the now circumstances. Don't look behind you. The past is not evidence of what's possible for you. It's like, this is where I'm going. I'm going there until end of story. Whatever the work is, that's what I'm willing to do. There's one rule. One rule. My tribe knows this. What is the one rule? The one rule is whatever actually works. Whatever actually, so if that looks like, oh, I thought I had to show up at a 10, but I have to show up at a 40, we're showing up at a 40, right? Like, okay, so I'm going to have a temper tantrum because I thought it was only going to take 10% of me, but it's going to take 40%. And I'm going to have a temper tantrum and then I'm going to show up at the 40%. That's what successful people do. We don't say it has to, we don't put it in a container. We stay open and surrender to what it actually looks like. I didn't know that it was going to look like a divorce. I didn't know it was going to look like moving to Florida. I didn't know it was going to look like investing X amount and all this stuff. I didn't know it was going to look like that lesson and that lesson. I didn't know it was going to look like this uncomfortable thing that I'm feeling or this thing I'm crying about and oh my God. And like, I didn't know it was going to look like all that, but that's what it looks like. This is what the work looks like apparently to get to 7 figures. That's it. That's what it looks like. And I'm surrendered to it. And I'm like, okay, whatever it is, it is. I didn't know I was going to have to learn about financial advisors and divorces and Florida laws and whatever. I just didn't know that. Who would have thought? I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought it would look like something else, but it didn't. It looks like this. And when I can surrender to that, I always feel like I'm moving forward because I'm focused on that's where I'm going. This is what is getting flushed up, and I'm stopping and I'm being willing to be present with the stuff that's getting flushed up. I'm being present with it. Like I'm willing to be present with it. I'm willing to do whatever the work is that's in front of me because I know when I do today's work, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and tomorrow's work is going to present itself and I'm going to do tomorrow's work. And I don't want to do tomorrow's work today. I don't want to do today's work tomorrow. I don't want to. I don't want to be stuck on the same work for 17 days. That's bullshit. I want to accelerate and I want to expand and I want to hit billions and I want to globally have an impact in the world. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to lead people who are ready and willing to step in. I know that I've embraced that. So I'm doing today's work today. And that has to look like surrendering to whatever it actually looks like without trying to judge it and without trying to predict a negative future. You see what I'm saying? And it sounds so simple to do that, but that is like the most badass work in the whole planet. Like there's a reason that so few people are massively successful because most people cannot or will not decide. I shouldn't say cannot because they can. 100% of people can. Most people will never decide to put themselves in a position where they're required to show up. When your back is against the wall, you will always make it happen, right? So you put yourself in a position where you have to outgrow yourself. Like, oh my God, in order to make that $10,000 a month payment to my mentors, I would have to change. That's the whole point. That's why I make the investment for $10,000 a month because I would have to change in order to make that investment worth it. I get to grow. And so I put myself in a position where I'm required to grow. I feel that tension. I feel the like, ooh, like I gotta get there, right? And then I see what gets flushed up and like, oh, okay. And then instead of me telling myself, oh, I need to rush through this lesson, so I can hurry up and do the things that make money, I recognize that what's coming up is the lesson for me to make money. That is me expanding and growing. Never was anything more important than you becoming the person it took for you to reach your dreams. That was always the most important thing. There is nothing else more important than that. Nothing else. That is the whole point. It was always the journey. It was always about you. It was always about you learning to love yourself and you learning to love others and you learning to be in connection and you learning to release the fear, to release the isolating, to release the limiting identities, the stories, the bullshit that was put on you, and to embrace happiness, embrace joy, embrace expansion, embrace being really bright, embrace who you actually are. This was always the journey. The byproduct of that is money. The byproduct is success. The byproduct is happiness. Does this make sense? So that's why it's so important for us to put ourselves in a position that we can't back out of, that you're required to show up to something more. Is it comfortable? Fuck no. It's definitely not comfortable. It's definitely uncomfortable. And that's what it is. If you want to be comfortable, then get used to how things are right now, because that's how they're going to stay. Because your brain's only job is to get you to do whatever you did yesterday and the day before, and that's what's comfortable. And so if you're looking, but here's the thing, it never stays as uncomfortable as it feels in the beginning. In the beginning, it's the most uncomfortable, but then your nervous system learns like, oh, this is what growing feels like, and we really love growing. And you learn to train your nervous system to see that sense of being uncomfortable as something really awesome. When I feel like I'm uncomfortable expanding, I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy because I'm like, I'm showing up for myself. I'm backing myself. I'm doing the damn thing. I'm on my way to where I'm going. When I don't feel nervous and I don't feel anxious, I'm like, what are you doing, Mandy? Like, what? You're just repeating the same day. Is that really what you want to do? You can if you want to, no big deal. There's no right or wrong. Is that what you want? And I'm like, hell no, that's not what I want. I want to expand. I want to grow. I want to always be in that state of like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is new. I'm always there. I live in that state all the time. Right now, it happens to be in dating. Like, I don't know who Mandy Perry is on a date with a really charming guy. I don't know who Mandy Perry is on a date with a very entitled jerk. I don't know who Mandy Perry is with whatever, with like a person who follows up or shows up this way. Like, I'm learning who I am in these different scenarios and situations as the woman I am today. And that's amazing. Right? Last month, I was learning who I am when I was trying to learn all this head brainy financial advisor, massive decisions and huge investments from my business. The month before, I was learning who I am when I was dealing, with my, children, post-divorce, single mom again. Like, I'm just learning who I am in all of these different scenarios. And that is always the work. I've just done it long enough where that doesn't feel scary anymore. Now it feels like I'm growing. I identify it as something good and exciting and happy, and I'm expanding and I'm growing. Even though it does still feel the exact same as it did in the beginning, I just identify with it differently now. And I would say I'm incredibly grateful for that. I'm incredibly grateful that I have done the work long enough. Like, I don't want to go back. That was hard, and it took some time to get to the place where I identify with it as something good, but I'm really grateful to be here, and I wouldn't change a single thing. I would go through it all again to get here. It was worth every mother-loving second of it. And that's it. That's what it is. I had to learn how to stop focusing on what is, to get my head on where I was going, to trust the process, to surrender to the stuff that came up, and to put myself in a position that I didn't have a choice but to show up. I just journaled about signing up for the experience and being uncomfortable. Exactly. Katie, do it. Don't overthink. Sylvia supporting you. I like to look at it. If I shift 1 degree each day, I will have full circle in a year. No. It's not 360 degrees. Think about it. Think about it. It's significantly more than that. And I'm not just saying that. It's significantly more than that. So put it this way. In the 30 days, did people shift 30%? No. Because let's say the first 5 days you learn these really powerful concepts and you start seeing things differently in your life. Now on day 6, you're making those decisions from the new woman that you are, seeing things differently. And now you're doing the next 5 days and you see those things differently and you're implementing those and you're shifting things and you're learning how to speak, right? Like, I'm constantly teaching my tribe how to word things, how to speak up for things. How would I say it? How would I actually do this, right? Like, how do I physically go and do this, right? So now you've got those 10 days under your belt and you've shifted that first set of days, right? Like, every day is compounding on the next and the next and the next. It's compounding. So if I've shifted 5 days, that's like 1% plus 1% plus 1. Like, each one of those is compounding. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I really am terrible at explaining this. I need my financial advisor to come on and explain compounding interest to you guys, and you'll understand compounding growth, because it's the same thing. So by the end of the year, it's way beyond 360. And that is not bullshit. That is just facts. That is just what it is. That is how someone like me, who is just a normal everyday girl, can go from $400 a week nanny, who grew up on welfare, all these kind of things, to living this kind of dream life like I am in 3 short years. That's not 1% a day only. That's not 360 in 1 year. That is significantly more than that. That is epic, ridiculous amounts of growth. And that's what's happening in this kind of work. That is what's happening when we're staying this intentional and we're just doing it every week and we're just staying on top of it and we're letting the foundational stuff actually, go into implementation phase. So we're not just hearing it and having the aha, right? Like we get that aha buzz, like, oh, aha, aha, aha. It does feel good. It's nice. It's nice to be smart. Everybody wants to be a genius. We all want to be Einstein. It is what it is. I like it. I want to be Einstein. I do. That's what it is. However, what matters is implementing it, because you don't know shit unless there's evidence of it in your life. You can't know something unless it's being implemented, right? Like you could have heard it, but you don't know it. You know it once you've actually put it into your life and put it into practice. And that's where all the good stuff comes from. I'll second the support. Elise is in the experience with us. Yes, girl. The snowball effect? Yeah, something like that, probably. I don't know. I have to learn how to explain this. I don't know how to explain it. All I know is today I shift 1%. Tomorrow, that 1% me that's already shifted is shifting 1%. So it's not like the same girl that started is just shifting another 1%. It's the girl who's 1% further that's shifting another 1%. So now that girl is now I've shifted up 2 notches, which is really like 3 notches because it was the first notch. And then the second day, it's like the second day and the first day. So that's 3. Now on that third day, that's like 6, right? And on that fourth day, that's like 8. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you're just like, take your whole vision board and put it away and shove it in a drawer, like my drawer over there that has 2 of them in them because I've cleared 2 vision boards. Like, who does that? That's what this work is. There's nothing special about me. I'm not different than anybody. It's just this level of work. I put myself in a position where I couldn't get out of it. I had no choice but to grow and show up. And I stayed the course and I stayed in it through all my temper tantrums and tears and fits and cries and like, holy shit, I didn't know this was going to happen. And I just kept staying in it and I just kept staying and I just kept staying until it started feeling good. And then it just feels epic and happy and joyful and amazing. And I love the expansion. I love that tension on myself. It feels like life now. And that's it. Nothing different. Multiplies. Yes. Yes, y'all get it. Great. I'm glad that you get it. Okay, so I'm going out to celebrate now. You guys, PM me if you have any questions about the group. Basically, I don't know what else you would need to know. It's a hell yes or it's not. And the work is for you to decide that I'm committed to making it happen rather than any kind of details. But if there's something you feel like you need to know, feel free to PM me. And then I'll give you the link. Make sure it's before midnight or else you will be paying the $777, no exceptions. You have until midnight. I think that's everything. Congratulations to my happy and wealthy girls. I'm so excited to do life with the people who have joined the experience already. And that is all. I love you very much. Have a fantastic day. I hope this supported you. If you're on the replay, hashtag replay. Let me know what came up for you. If you feel like you got value, please share this. That's all. I love you very much. Have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.